Alright, doing a short video here. I got a 2013 Ford Explorer with a 3.5 naturally aspirated engine, and I've noticed sometimes at idle you can feel a surging, rolling idle during AC operation. There's a technical service bulletin with this exact name. I think it's 15-0149, and it fixes this problem as a PCM update. And Ford doesn't really give any details of what the update does, but using ForeScan or any kind of scan tool that can read real-time information from the PCM, you can kind of see what's going on and probably most likely what the fix is. So I'm in middle Alabama. It's currently 92 degrees outside, and humidity, you know, it's Alabama, it's August, it's relatively high. So pulling up a few variables, I have the AC request, and that's simply if the AC is on or not, telling the computer, or if the HVAC module is sending the signal to the computer, hey, I need the compressor to be turned on, I'm requiring AC. ACC demand is essentially the signal coming from the computer to your clutch saying, hey, engage the clutch. The AC pressure is there's a pressure switch, no, I'm sorry, not a switch, an actual sensor on these vehicles that can read real-time pressure. It's not as simple as soon as it hits the threshold it switches to ground or to positive. This is actually reading, it's a transducer. All right, and then we have RPMs, the actual RPMs. Jesus. Sorry about the reflection here. RPMs actual is the yellow right here, and right now I have around 600, which is close to what the desired RPM is. And so now it's running. Right now we see I have a pressure of about 205. If I turn the AC off, which instead of me actually showing you hitting the switch, you just look right here at the request, I'm turning it off, and you see it switches to no. Pressures are still relatively high, 178, and we'll turn it back on. You can see the request right here. HVAC just sent the request, and right there you can see it hit the clutch command to turn on and immediately turned off. And the reason why, sorry, it keeps focusing in and out. The reason why is because you can see here the RPM, as soon as it kicks on, lowers significantly. It drops down to 393 RPMs. And what it's doing is the computer, let me turn the airflow down a little bit. The computer, it's engaging the compressor, RPMs drop like crazy because the compressor is trying to fight this high pressure. This won't happen on a cool day and you try to engage, and there's not enough torque coming from the engine at that point to keep the engine going while the compressor is engaged. So it immediately kills the compressor and says, whoa, 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 we can't do that, it's killing the engine, so let's pull it back some. It waits a few seconds and then tries to engage again. If you notice here, there's no desired RPM change whatsoever. So what I think's going on is the computer makes the decision to engage the compressor, but it's not doing anything about the torque load of the engine. So my guess is the PCM update, what it does is pretty much takes your electronic throttle body and cracks it open a little bit more to handle that extra load based off of the actual pressure reading from the pressure sensor. Okay, so if I give it a little gas right before, well, actually it's eventually the pressure's kind of stabilizes a little bit and it gets out of this little cycle. I'm gonna turn it off, turn it back on, see if I can get it to do it again. Again, I apologize for the glare. Hopefully you can still see. Turn that blower down. Okay, so now it's doing it. So right before the compressor engages, I'm going to give a little bit of throttle. And you see, as soon as it gets through that first push of where it has to start from a high pressure and start compressing even more, it stabilizes. So it's a very random, you know, it's probably not occur much, but I have seen it. And at idle on an old car, you would think that this is a, you know, low freon situation when it's really not. I mean, because everybody realizes, you know, hey, I hear my compressor clicking on and off all the time and it's killing my idle, you know, and everybody's number one suggestion is going to be, well, it sounds like you're low on Freon. In this case, you're not. I mean, my pressures look good, and it's just the compressor trying to turn on with high pressure still inside, and it's not enough torque in the engine at the given idle that the computer's demanding to keep up with it. Okay, so on a home HVAC, same situation. If you kill your AC and then try to turn it right back on, there's a lockout feature, because it knows that there's so much pressure in the line still that, you know, it's very hard on the compressor motor to kick back on, so it delays it by like 15 minutes. Well, on a car, you really don't need that. You just need more throttle. But, you know, on a compressor, on a home HVAC, it's just a set horsepower. There's no, hey, let's give it a little bit more juice kind of situation. So hopefully, if anybody has that, if you have ForScan, you can kind of see this and replicate it. Again, it's only, the TSB says 2013 to 2015. TSB number again is 15-0149, and it's a PCM brief flash with 0.3 hours of labor time. Okay, so hopefully this video explains something and helps you guys out. If you see this issue, I've had this issue while I was under warranty, but they actually found a Freon leak, but it was barely low, and I didn't notice the TSB until I was outside of warranty. But it's not too big of a deal. You know, I give it a little throttle snap during that time, and it's fine. It's just kind of a nuisance. Okay, and thanks for watching, guys.